Some specimen, not a legendary talk is vortex. And if you late, here's a lost session for your cross-reference. Hardcore perfection, so the encores requested. I was on tour, saying bonjour to the next one. Talk reckless and it's off with your Stetson. Think you ever gonna stop me? Autopsy, cross-section. It's all said and done, you understand your core lessons. Gotta open up your mind to receive the Lord's blessings. I done had backs turned on me, had gats turned on me for far less than a stack. Niggas acting up.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Atlanta Unplugged. And I'm your host, Steve Paul. And if this is your first time tuning in, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, and press that notification bell so you can check out the content when it comes up and everything, because we have real dope discussions. And today we got a dope MC going by the name of John Jiggs. What's up, my brother?
How you doing, man? I appreciate you having me, bro.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you being here, man. You know what I mean? I check your content out on your page and everything like that. And I see you a true MC, man.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, to me, there's no other way. You know what I'm saying? I come from that era where, you know, your sword had to be sharp 24/7, you know? So that's how I'm coming with it, you know?
Yeah, I checked out some of your videos and everything. You was taking me back, man. I was like, man, this is taking me back to the real era where you got to have bars and everything like that.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So tell the people about yourself, man.
So, I mean, I've been doing this on a professional level probably about, I'd say like maybe 7-8 years. You know what I'm saying? Before that, I always been doing this since I was a teenager, but actually, you know, taking it seriously and really going out here and making this a career for myself, I would say probably the past 7-8 years, you know, and I've been blessed to be able to, you know, to travel and see all types of different things and work with all these different incredible artists, and just a blessing, man. You know what I mean? It's been a heck of a ride, man, as far as like the way the music has taken me, things I never thought I would be able to do.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I'm just thankful, you know? Thankful for the...
So where you coming from?
Okay, so I'm born and raised in New York, Long Island, New York. You know what I'm saying? Back and forth between the Bronx, you know what I'm saying, and Long Island, but mainly Long Island. You know what I mean? I come from a small town in Long Island called Riverhead. It's all the way at the end of Long Island, you know what I'm saying? Not a town that's well known for hip hop or anything like that. So I'm also, you know, trying to lead the charge with that too, you know, put more emphasis on Long Island as a whole, and particularly the east end of Long Island.
Okay. So are you here now in Atlanta?
Yeah. Nah, I've been in Atlanta for about a year now. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely like the vibe out here. You know, I haven't got to experience as much as I would like to because of the pandemic and everything. You know, a lot of things had gotten shut down, and it wasn't too easy to move around at one time.
Right.
But, you know, things are starting to open back up, and, you know, everything is looking cool. So I'm just, you know, I'm excited to be here. You know what I'm saying? I like Atlanta. I like what Atlanta stands for. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that, you know, you can come down here, especially as a black man or black family, you can have something down here. You know, it's New York and the Northeast in general is not really set up like that for us to be owners, and you know what I'm saying, us to actually have things. So when I came here, that's what really inspired me. I was just like, wow, like I see all these young black entrepreneurs doing their thing. Like you know what I'm saying, I feed off of that energy.
Right.
Word.
Shoot, you could coming from New York, you could probably make it out here because it ain't expensive as all get out up in New York, man.
Oh man, you could spend $3,000 a month on a closet in New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100 with you. It's, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just one of those places where you have to. I look at New York as like kind of like if you play for people that play video games. Like New York is like playing Madden on All Madden. Or playing 2K on Superstar.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like it's the hardest way possible. So when you come to other places, it's like, oh, okay, I could deal with this. You know what I mean?
Right. They said if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
Really, it really is like a crash course, and you know what I'm saying? Everything is just so fast paced, and like you have to be on point at every second. You know?
Right. But you made it out on time because right now that's like epic center for COVID, right?
Oh yeah. No, it's crazy, man. Like I realized that, like, you know, a couple months after we got here and we got settled and everything, it was like It was like, yo, New York was like crazy. I couldn't even go back. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to visit. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just thankful. You know, I guess, you know, it's all God's plan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or,
You been linking up with artists down here?
yeah. I've actually worked with a couple artists down here. I just recently put out a single with my man. Shout out to my man Jay Waiters. He's an R&B singer. He's not actually from Atlanta, but he's from the South. He does a lot of free frequency here a lot. So I did something with him and a couple DJs. Shout out to my man DJ Sean Swift. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Pocket. A couple other DJs down here that's doing their thing. Shout out to my fam at Southern Vanguard. You know what I'm saying? A couple people down here that I'm rocking with. You know what I'm saying? BLD Films. Cause more people that have showed me love and kind of welcomed me with open arms since I've been here, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's dope. That's
Definitely
dope.
a good look.
Yeah. So watching some of your content, I saw that you was on Sway in the morning and everything, spinning some bars and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the biggest thing you was with the OG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
PMD.
So tell us about that. How's that connection?
Shout out to PMD, man. That was, you know what I mean? That was definitely a blessing to be able to, you know, work with him and I was actually blessed to be able to be featured on his last two projects, the Mr. Slowfo album and then the one before that, Business Mentality. I'm on both of those, you know what I'm saying? And did some writing on the hook, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. So it was a blessing. That was actually a connection that was made with my manager. Shout out to my manager Digital. He had a relationship with them and that whole camp over there. And they brought me to the studio one day. I got a call to come to the studio one day, and I came and I just did what was asked, you know what I'm saying? I put in the work, and from there on, you know, a lot of doors opened up for me, and you know, Paris was nice enough to take me on the road with him, and you know, I got to do a couple shows, open up for him. I opened up for him at his birthday party. There's a lot of different things just going on the road with him and getting to experience life on the other side, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you really are like that established artist, and you know what I'm saying, and things are laid out for you, it's a little different, you know what I'm saying? I had experienced some success on a underground level, but you know, Paris is like more of like, that's like more mainstream, like, you know what I'm saying? It's literally a legend, you know what I'm saying? So just the way things go for him is a little bit different, and it was nice to be able to experience that, you know. And I was blessed that he saw something in me to want to attach me to his brand, and you know, kind of put his neck out there for me in certain aspects, you know. Right.
So what got you started in the hip hop game?
Well, my story as far as the hip hop game is actually I fell in love with hip hop by circumstance. So what happens is my father is like a lot older than my mother, right? Because I'm trying to make this as short as possible. So I have an older brother and an older sister in the Bronx. Okay. Right. So in both of them, I mean, if I'm in my 30s, my sister's probably in her 40s, my brother in his 50s, right? So when I was growing up, my father, he lived upstate New York. So, and I was from Long Island, and I lived on Long Island with my mother. So the meeting point was their house for him to come and get me. Okay. Right? Okay. They live in the Bronx off of Laconia Avenue, right down the street from Edenwald Projects, right? So what happened was, a lot of times he wouldn't show up, and I would end up spending the weekend with my brother and my sister, who by this time, especially my older brother, who's completely immersed in hip hop culture. Okay. A DJ, and he's going to parties, he's going to skate key, he's having.
What's his name?
My brother's name is Michael. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know what I'm saying? He go hit by DJ Michael S. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, so. He has on top of this, he has thousands of pieces of vinyl in his room. It's just everywhere. Hip hop is everywhere in his area. My sister too, but more from, you know, girls, you know, they like to listen to music, but my brother was like into it heavy. He's taking me to parties, he's taking me here, he's taking me there. You know, and you know how the rule goes, you know, you gotta take your little brother with you. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So that's really what happened. And my brother started to just expose me to so many different things. So from this, I guess you would say, misfortune of my father not showing up, I actually was given this gift of hip hop. Because if I had gone with my father wasn't into hip hop at all. So if I would have gone with him, I probably wouldn't have experienced a lot of the things that I did experience. But because he didn't show up these times, and it was pretty often, you know what I'm saying? So it really did shape me. And before I knew it, I was hooked. my brother had me at a point where he would just tell me, he would just make me rap for him and his friends because I started to take a liking to it. By the time I was 10, 11, 12, I was writing rhymes and it was actually decent.
Mm-hmm.
So I had fell in love with it. And then at that point when Crisscross came out, I was blown away because at that point these were kids.
Atlanta legends.
Yeah. Rest in
you know
peace
what I mean?
too. I know one of them passed away, Chris Kelly, right?
Chris Kelly,
yeah. Rest in peace. But
Rest in peace,
I remember watching, and then, you know, at the time, obviously they weren't writing their own rhymes back then, but I didn't know that as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I'm like, yo, these kids, they just as good as the adults, and they doing it, and they actually selling more records than the adults, and you see them on TV more than you see the adults on TV.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm like, so I could really do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I just started writing my little raps. I would go on the bus. Me and my cousin Dana, we write our little raps and then go on the bus in the morning, spit it. You know, the girls love it. It was just an all around win. It made you a popular person. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, not everybody know how to rap.
Right.
You know, and that was just my thing. And I've always written. It's always been something that I've done. But even at that point, it wasn't until I became like a man, I started to have children, that I really was like, okay, I need to be getting paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
or I need to be trying to get some money out of this thing. Before that, it was just something I did hanging out with my friends. You know,
right.
So that's really how it all came together. And I thank God for that. You know, it's like it really is a gift because it's a culture. It's not just something you do. It's like a lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
The whole
especially
thing.
coming from New York.
Yeah,
you know?
and you really are in New York. You know, you don't realize that people from other places, they don't get that exposure to hip hop like we do in New York. When you grow up, it's like, you know, I remember, you know, just getting dressed and having to go to high school in the morning. Like you walk in that lobby, you gonna get tested. Like somebody might be like, yo, I heard you nice. I heard you can rap. Like, you had to be ready for that. And if you wasn't for that whole day, you was whack. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and that was the worst thing that could happen. So that trained me to be always focused on my craft and always trying to get better all the time. You know?
Is that how you kept it underground instead of the mainstream?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the thing about the mainstream game is like they kind of take artists and they kind of use them up and then they kind of throw them to the wayside. I mean, there's a very select few that stay and get to actually live out that glory and that legacy. But for every artist that has that glory and that legacy, you can name 10, 20, 30 that they might have gotten one shot and that's it.
Right,
you know,
right.
but I know underground artists who have been doing the same thing consistently for years and years and years and years, all while staying true to themselves and making a decent living.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
the underground the underground has always been a place to me where there's no politics. I mean, there are still politics involved, but it's not as much as you would experience in a mainstream world. And I've had singles that have been on the radio, and I've been in that world.
Right,
you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But I also noticed that it's just you have your expiration date is much faster.
Are you a battle rapper also?
I would see, based on what they're doing now, I wouldn't say so because I don't know if I could go through what they going through right now. What they doing is on a whole. I have no doubt in my mind that I could do it.
Yeah.
But it's just that's crazy. That you know what they doing now. Now, if you want to talk about just you spit your rhyme, I spit my rhyme. Yeah, we did that all through coming up as kids. We did that. You know. But what these guys are doing now is something totally different. I take my hat off to them because it's incredible. You know what I mean?
Now tell me this, man, because we about the same generation and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And me coming up, you know, I always thought everybody, you know, when we got into the ciphers and everything like that, I always thought everybody was spitting off top of their dome.
Yeah.
But then later on, I found out a lot of people was writing.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
What type of artist are you? Do you normally write, or are you capable of spitting off top of the dome?
Well, I'm capable of spitting on top of my dome, but it's not something that I exercise a lot, just because it doesn't seem to be like a big need for it anymore.
Right.
Because it's usually about recording. I mean, I came up in a time where you would have 5, 6, 7 raps memorized in your head. So if you got tested, that's how you would come off. And then once you ran out, you might go off the top of the head. And by that time, you got your juices pumping, you got your flow going. So you should be able to hold that down at least a couple more times, go around. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
times in the cipher. You know what I'm saying? But I do, that I used to do that a lot more when I was younger. Like I said, my brother used to kind of just make me rap on the spot and things like that. And in those times, I used to have to do that. You know what I mean? Because maybe as a teenager, maybe as a youngster or even an adolescent, I may have been, smart enough to stash these rhymes. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I haven't done that in a very long time, just because I'm always concentrating on writing the next, you know what I'm saying? Writing the next dope record,
I'm surprised that you brought up, from you being where you're from, and you brought up Crisscross. Because Shaheem came out about that time.
Yeah, Shaheem too. Yeah,
And
I remember Shaheem. I remember Shaheem too. Shaheem was cold too. I remember Shaheem. I remember the Youngsters.
Yes,
I remember
yes,
Quo. I remember there was a group called Quo. ABC even. You know what I'm saying? They were a little bit more on the pop side,
Right.
but still, like, I remember all of those groups. But Crisscross was like the biggest.
Because
Like,
though we love Crisscross and everything, but back then, in order to be recognized as a real MC, you're not going to you're not going to Crisscross and everything.
oh yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
Nah, there was also Illegal too. That group
Illegal,
Illegal was
yes.
dope.
Yes,
Yeah, shout out to
yes.
Jamal. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Jamal, Fade 'em on.
Boy, that he came
That
by.
was
It's
hard.
like, man, it made it real hard for MCs back then. To be a rapper,
Yeah.
made it real hard. Nowadays, everybody is comfortable enough to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Nah, it was different. It was different then. You really had to be, you had to be better than the next man, or you had to have something unique about you even if you weren't better, you had to
Right.
have something
Set you
unique
apart,
about you
yeah.
that separated you from the last person they heard.
Originality.
Now it's like, yo, you listen to the radio and it's like, it sound like somebody like you
It's
just
the
playing
same,
somebody's
right.
album, like like it's the same person. So
Right.
it
right.
is what it is, man. I try to show love to everybody, even some people that I'm not even a fan of their music. It's just like I could find something that I could respect about you. Like maybe I respect your hustle, or
Right.
maybe I just respect what you're doing. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's very rare that I hear artists where I'm like, that's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm just being honest.
Right.
But I can respect something about you. Like I like how you commanded the crowd, or I like how I like how you consistently keep doing it.
Right.
There's something to be said about that, even if the music may not be my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. You can still see authentic, real, recognized,
Being
real.
objective. Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
If I say, like, even if I mention like an artist, like let's say like Future or somebody like that, right? I look at him and I'm not a fan of everything. I'm not a fan of a lot of the stuff that he does, but I do know that he's the originator of what all these other kids are trying to do. So I respect that.
Right.
Like I realize that he's a trendsetter and you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not riding around listening to that all the time, but I get why people rock with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So who did you tap into in order for you to sharpen your skills with making music, like actually making albums, not just being a rapper, but actually making songs?
I come from so my era. So my era is Biggie, Jay-Z, Pac, Nas, Mobb Deep, Capone and Noriega, 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these are people who were incredible with the pen, but still knew how to make records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I always wanted to make sure that I was super nice and I had those lyrical skills, but at the same time being able to make a good song. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's a transition that's difficult for a lot of MCs. Some MCs, you'll find some MCs who are super duper nice and they can rap. But then when it comes time to put together a record, they
Right.
just, you know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to make sure I kept that balance. You know what I'm saying? And those MCs that I named, to me, those are the blueprints of that. Like, somebody that's as talented as Nas, but can still put together, you know what I'm saying? Still
Right.
put together something as classic as, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
As what he was able to do. So that's, you know what I mean? That's where I come from. That's my era. That's my lane.
So who have you worked with so far, and who do you want to work with as far as producers?
As far as producers, okay, let me think. So a lot of I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the producers that I've worked with are definitely underground producers. I mean, shout out to my man K Slugger. Shout out to Swab. Shout out to Nam Nitty. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to BP. I just put something together with BP, DJ Concept, Little Vic, DJ Super Dave. You know what I'm saying? All of these producers that, I know like DJ Super Dave, he's done some stuff with like Rick Ross and Cool G Rap and but as far as who I would like to work with, definitely Premier, you know what I mean? Pete Rock, Just Blaze.
Legends.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely Just Blaze, Kanye. I'm trying to think.
Even with the MAGA hat on?
Nah, we can't do the MAGA hat. We can't do the MAGA hat. But I don't even think he would put that on now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know,
I don't
man.
even think he would put that on now.
You know what I'm saying?
Apparently they used him. Shout out to Kanye, man. That brother, whatever. But yeah, I'm trying to think besides that. I mean, obviously, who wouldn't want a little Neptunes and a little Dr. Dre in their life? You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't want to sound cliche, but that, it is what it is.
Right. I
Knots,
mean, they masters of the craft, so.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want to sound like everybody. I mean, that's probably what everybody else would say too, but.
But they say it for a good reason.
Honest, I mean, I need to, I should probably slow up because I almost forgot the biggest producer I have worked with Street Runner before. So Street Runner has worked with Eminem, Meek Mill. I mean, anybody you could name, Lil Wayne, anybody you could name. I mean, he's got records on the radio every single day. Mm-hmm. Fat Joe all the way up. I mean, on down the line. So we were able to work together about a year and a half ago. You know what I'm saying? And he's probably the biggest. You know what I'm saying? And that's when through that's when I was able to like I said, get on the radio and perform at these big, radio station summer jam things and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because of what that record was able to do for me. It put me in the door.
What's one of your biggest tracks today?
I would say that song. The name of the song is called Every Day. Cool Like That in parentheses. You know what I'm saying? It's produced by a Street Runner. You know what I'm saying? And that video we was able to we did World Star on that video. We did like over I think 1.5 million views on World Star with that video. Mm-hmm. A couple 100,000 more on YouTube. It really took me to places, like I said, I never thought I would be able to reach and radio play all across the country and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely a great experience for me. But like I said, when you're in that world, your expiration date is like, you know what I'm saying, here today, going tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? As fast as as soon as you get used to that limelight and that love, it's gone. You understand what I'm saying? But what I recognize is that my underground following, they never went anywhere.
True fans.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what artists that you want to work with in the future and everything?
That I would like to work with. I definitely there's a couple artists that passed away that I wish I would have gotten a chance to work with them. Prodigy. Oh man, Prodigy, rest in peace to Prodigy. Yeah. Rest in peace to Sean Price. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Those are two brothers that I really, really, really wanted to work with. That guy. Now I was actually put on the song with Prodigy because there was a posthumous verse that was out there. I was put on the song with Prodigy, but I never actually got to build with the brother and work with him. So, you know what I'm saying? That's one person.
But that's still a blessing, though.
Yeah, man. That's still a blessing to be able to get on the song. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to, those who put me in that position. I would say besides that, let's see. I've already worked with Benny the Butcher.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to work with Conway. I'd like to work with Rock Marciano. I would like to work with West Side Gun. I would work with West Side Gun. I'm trying to think. Who else?
So what Atlanta artists would you want to work with?
Atlanta artists. I would do something with Future. I would do like the whole Dungeon family, Cujo and CeeLo and all of them. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Big Boy, T.I., you know what I mean? All you guys legends, man. Like I would definitely, because I've always been a fan of, I mean, since Outkast came out, I've been tuned in. Since Goody Mob came out, I've been tuned in to what's going on here in Atlanta. So those are definitely some people, you know what I'm saying?
So since you from New York, do you think it was fair for Busta Rhymes to get at T.I.? For the category that Busta is in.
And I'm gonna tell you why. The only reason I say yes is because of the amount of trash that T.I. talks. And T.I., you understand what I'm saying? To me, that's the only like he talks so much trash that he shouldn't be ducking anybody. He doesn't get a pass to duck anybody. If he was just a quiet, humble dude, I'd be like, yo, Bus, you picking on him. You understand what I'm saying? But because it's T.I., if it had been anybody else,
who did T.I. pick up on other than 50?
No, I'm not saying that. Well, that's what I'm saying. He came at 50, right? He had so much to say because 50 didn't want to do it, and then Busta flipped it on him, and he's like, "Oh, you're from a different era." And Busta was like, "Hey, we could use only records from when you came out." You know what I'm saying? And he still didn't want to do it. So to me, I felt like he should have took that. Like he should have just accepted and thought about all that other stuff later.
I think he said at the end of the day
he shouldn't have ducked. He can't. When you talk that much trash, he got a big mouth. You can't duck smoke when you got a big mouth.
Since he's claiming to be the king of the South, meaning he has to.
He's supposed to.
Now New York has be having the biggest mouths, man.
Yeah, of course.
To where. I remember back in the days, each area zone, from the West Coast to the South, they had to stand up for themselves.
Oh yeah,
to the East Coast, what I'm saying?
I'm not.
New York,
I'll be honest, man. We, what I'm saying, we can come off abrasive. We can be, but that's just, honestly, that's just the environment. Like we're like that with each other. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, Brooklyn be like, yo, Harlem is soft. And Queens would be like, you know what I'm saying? And Brooklyn would be like, yo, Queens is soft. And it's like that. It's really like that. Yeah. And New York is one of those cities where it's like every man for themselves. Like if the train is packed and you gotta get home, if the subway is packed and you gotta get home, you get pushed out of the way.
Yeah, man.
And nobody, and you don't expect nobody to say, excuse me. You're just supposed to know because it's New York.
Right.
So people step on your foot. You know what I'm saying?
Then you come out here and they smiling and waving.
It is what it is. I seen a person drop. I don't know if they was dead, but drop dead on the ground, and people just step over them in New York.
Man.
I've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah.
I've seen homeless people just be messed up, and people just. And going about their business, so that's the environment we come from. So when people feel like people from other places feel like we're aggressive or whatever, it's like that's how we've been brought up. That's how we've been trained. It's like you got all these people stacked up on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? Right. You got us all stacked up on top of each other, and it's we just fighting for crumbs.
Right, but at the same time, pressure makes diamonds.
Exactly,
and that's why. New York has always been the mecca of hip hop. It's always been the ones to produce.
And that's literally where hip hop comes from. That pressure, that stress.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That element. That's literally where it comes from. Those kids needing an outlet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think about today's artists? I know you said you hear on the radio everybody sounds the same and everything like that. Is there any hope? Do you hear anybody out there that sounds like, they want to elevate from the status of where it's at?
Yeah, I mean, besides me and my team, Monopoly Music, you know what I'm saying? We all bringing lyrics to the table. You know what I mean? Obviously the Griselda boys are doing a great job right now. You know what I'm saying? You got, like I said, you got Benny the Butcher, you got Conway, you got 38 Special coming up. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got some good artists that are starting to make some headway, and I'm excited to see what happens because I see artists relying. I see even artists like DaBaby, like he's a rapper, like he's relying on his pen. It's a lot of antics going on but if you actually listen to it and break down the lyrics of what he's rapping, you could tell that he actually takes time to think, to make sure that he's saying something that's, you know what I'm saying, that's meaningful.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I respect, and I see it. I think this pandemic, that's one thing. It just sat people down and made them really have to think instead of just throwing whatever together and put it out. Because it started to be that. It started to be just, I'm gonna put together. I got a dope beat. I'm about to just say whatever, and I'm putting this out. You know what I mean?
Now, are you signed or are you independent?
I'm independent. I actually own my own company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got a roster already?
Yeah. So we got Nam Nitty. You know what I'm saying? We got Mouth. we got Rockwell's, you know what I'm saying? And then I also have producers. Shout out to DJ Swab, you know what I'm saying? Shining 88.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We got some dope producers, you know, and we just, you know what I mean? We've been working, man. We got a lot of music, and we actually are starting to get back on the road again. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to, you know, be able to, and also have the option to bring my team with me. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got
So what's happening on the 18th?
So actually, it's on the 19th. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is on the 18th in Atlanta, and then we got the 19th in New Orleans.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So so on the 18th we're gonna actually be at Blazing Cuts. Shout out to my man Shabam Sadiq. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be at his spot. We're gonna be doing. They got the Rock the House heavyweight rhyme writers tour. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be me, bunch of artists from New York, Baltimore, a couple other cities coming to town. We're gonna be doing a big concert, and it's also gonna be streamed virtual. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube Live.
You got some albums out already?
Absolutely, yeah. I got so recently I just put out my Jigonometry project, which I'll pull that out and show y'all in a second. You know what I'm saying? I got that. Before that I put out the Revolvers project. Before that was Good Friday, Teflon John EP. I mean, over the past I would say 3-4 years I put out like 5 projects. Something like that. You know what I'm saying?
So they legit albums on streaming, or they like mixtapes? Or?
No, all on all the streaming sites. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. There's if you check out my Spotify or whatever the case is, you'll find a bunch of different projects, and then I got like 2 to 3 projects slated for release next year. So it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this the way the game is now. You have to consistently be feeding your fan base. You know what I'm saying, and trying to grow it as well at the same time.
Right. That's dope, man. That's dope. So, you know, I do ask the artists, like, you know, how they doing within this climate and everything, but you already, you know, pretty much explained that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where you got down here and you pretty much been in the laboratory, you know what I mean, cooking up and everything like that.
That's kind of how it went. When I first got down here, I was doing a little bit of networking, moving around, you know what I'm saying, showing my face here and there. Mm-hmm. And then when everything shut down, it was kind of like, you know, okay, so we kind of just like started stockpiling music and stockpiling content. Mm-hmm. You know, to me, that was the blessing of it. Like, you wasn't expected to be nowhere. You wasn't expected to go anywhere, because when I'm I'm the type of artist, when I have a project out, like, I'm radio interviews here, there, I'm traveling, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, promoting my brand. So the fact that I didn't have to do any of that for a while, number one, it gave me a chance to really like spend some good time with my family and get, you know what I'm saying? Get acclimated, and all of us getting acclimated to being in Atlanta, because we're not from here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, being able to get my content up, and put my pen to the paper, and record and shoot videos and things like that.
Right. But so being here in Atlanta, what are some of the things that you are introduced that's something like new to you?
I'm trying to think.
Like, even if it's just the spirit or the energy of the people.
Well, no, that's one thing. I mean, everybody is like really polite here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not used to that. Everybody is like just cool. Like, just, like in New York, you could damn near get in a fight with somebody just by saying hello, saying what's up. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like that, especially if you don't know somebody. But here, you walk past people and they, you know what I'm saying? They hold the door for you and things like that. I mean, New York is not necessarily like that. So that's definitely one thing. And I would say there's a lot more. It's a lot of partying here. A lot of partying here. You know what I'm saying? Like in New York, they got, we got clubs and stuff like that, but it's not like in Atlanta.
New York's the city that never sleeps.
Huh?
I'm mad we're not going to be able to touch that freak meat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I missed out on that too, man.
We missed out on Freaknik.
That used to be one of my, go-to destinations was the Freaknik.
Yeah.
You know how they always say after you win a game, they say where you want to go. They be like Disneyland. I'd be like, nah, I want to go to the Freaknik. You know what I'm saying?
It's a what do you call it? That's like, but that would be like a Me Too thing now. Like, you can't. You know what I'm saying?
That would be what they
place for me too, heaven.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Not here in Atlanta.
That sound like.
He said, not here in Atlanta.
Yeah, you know, strip clubs and all that. That's like a career, like a real true career.
No, I know.
It's what has been a surprise to me.
Yeah, and that's what a surprise. Like you could go, you go to you go to places and they don't even say nothing about dances, but there's dances in there though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying like. In New York, it's like like if you want to see some dances, you're going to a specific place where they have that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Here, it's like, yo, I'm going to sit down and have some wings, and all of a sudden you got, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You got somebody in your face. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely different like that. You know what I mean?
With the hip hop culture, you hear about that, but you come in here and being here, you like
totally different.
Being
Right.
in the culture, you know what I mean? It's a part of this culture and the state and the city or whatever.
Right. Wait, hey man, introduce your man's man.
Yo, this is Nam Nitty right here. Is he on camera?
No, you gotta stand up, you know, give a shout out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is Nam Nitty, man. Producer, rapper extraordinaire. You know what I'm saying? Monopoly Music in the building, man. We about and we about to hit this road. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this weekend we gonna be, what is that? Conyers? I think it's Conyers.
Okay, Conyers.
Yeah. We're gonna be in Conyers this weekend. And then we're gonna be in, actually it's not even New Orleans, it's Houma, Louisiana. Houma at the Hall in Houma, Louisiana. And then, you know what I mean, obviously we're gonna touch New Orleans too, because it's only like maybe 30 minutes away.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Good. So let people know. So if you have anything that is on your chest that you want to get off and everything like that, and you want to let the people know, I mean anything, like, you know, if you think that the people need to know something, let them know right now.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, man, you need to pick up this Jigonometry right here, this album. This, you know what I'm saying, this is my baby right here. We put a lot of work into this. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I mean, I can't even explain the amount of love that I've gotten on this project. And just make sure you go pick that up on your streaming platforms. You can also hit me on my social media if you want to, you know, a signed copy or whatever, something like that sent to you. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely worth, you know what I'm saying, worth the investment. And you know, I definitely want everybody to go out, you know what I'm saying, and support that. You know what I mean? I also got the John Jiggs merch, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kali's Apparel. You can go pick up this merch at www.kalisapparel.store. That's CALISAPPAREL.store. Kalisapparel.store. You know what I'm saying? I got the sweatshirts, I got the hats, you know what I'm saying? You know, they also come in red too, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you support that, and you know what I mean? Follow the team, Monopoly Music, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow John Jiggs, you know.
Hey, and are we going to get a performance? Is Atlanta Unplugged going to get a performance?
You looking for a performance? Okay. Let's do that.
You know, how you want to hook it up? You want to have them on the stage, or you want them to spit the bar right here? You know what I'm saying?
Well, what I would say is, if we're gonna do a show, let's set it up and perform and promote it right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's do it right. I'm with that.
We want to let the people get a taste of, you know what I mean, the bars. Let them know where you at with it. You know what I mean?
Give them a couple bars, baby.
You know, cause you talking to the Atlanta crowd right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much introducing yourself as an MC here in Atlanta.
All right. Bottle after bottle like a newborn. They all thirsty, I bet I got the juice for 'em. New form with the roof gone. Took my old John, traded for a new John. Never met a dollar that I didn't like. Get it how I live till I'm living right. If I ain't got $1 million, I ain't feeling right. J-I-2-G's what I get a night. You ain't getting paid, then you getting played. Never skip days, never take a sick day. Nigga, everything I spit cray. Keep a new 16 like the 10th grade. Word.
Straight up.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, you give you a little something, you know.
Man, that's dope enough, man. You know what I mean? Get a little taste in, and then we get a little performance a little later on and everything like that.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you know, we actually appreciate you coming in, taking your time to stop by Atlanta
Absolutely.
Unplugged and everything, man. Like I said, I done checked your content out. You are a true MC, you know what I mean? Like real MC, like come with the bars and everything like that.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean, you're not just a rapper, but you actually are a artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I recognize that and I respect that. And much props for coming in and doing the interview with us. And any last shout outs?
Yo, again, shout out to the whole team, man. Shout out to Rockwell, shout out to Mouth, shout out to Digital. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole team. Shout out to Brandon Reynolds. You know what I mean? Shout out to Colley's Apparel. You know what I mean? All my partners, all my business partners. Shout out to the whole Monopoly Music, man. And we here, man. Just look out for us, man. Make sure you follow me. You can follow me on Instagram at John_Jiggs. You know what I'm saying? Also follow me on Twitter at Jiggs the Great. You know what I'm saying? And then you can follow Monopoly Family all across the board. It's basically what you're going to do is you're going to take Monopoly, you're going to replace those O's with X's, and that's how you spell Monopoly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's Monopoly_Family all across the board.
Yeah, and that is a wrap, man. You know, thank y'all for stopping by, tuning in to Atlanta Unplugged. I'm the host, Steve Paul. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Specimen.
We are
Not
out.
a legendary talk is vortex, and if you late, here's a lost session for your cross-reference. Hardcore perfection, so the encores requested. I was on tour, saying bonjour to the next one. Talk reckless and it's off with your Stetson. Think you ever gonna stop me? Autopsy, cross-section. It's all said and done, you understand your core lessons. Gotta open up your mind to receive the Lord's blessings. I done had backs turned on me, had gats turned on me for far less than a stack. Niggas acting unholy. Divide, conquer like they did Shaq and Kobe. Oh, that foolish hating, adulterating the matrimony. Black Shinobi, y'all.